Welcome back to your News Just News weekly roundup. We are here for episode 25. I'm joined with Adam. Hi, Adam.
Hello, hello, hello.
And with Lucia, as always.
Hello, everybody.
So, we're going to be talking about some really interesting entertainment pieces today. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to be talking about Olivia Rodrigo, who was on SNL during the weekend. She was on May 2nd, and it was a it was a great time. I'm not sure if you guys have watched it yet, but this was her first time hosting. She had been on before to perform, but this was her first time doing skits, hosting the whole thing, doing the monologue, all of that. So a really great time in her career right now. And that is also because her new album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love, is coming out on June 12th. So that was also part of it. She is advertising it. And on that note, she actually surprised everyone and sung the second song of her album called Begged. The first one came out called Drop Dead, which is incredible. I love the song. And yeah, so she performed Begged, and that was the standout moment of the night. So exciting because this album has been so awaited, highly awaited by fans and music lovers alike. And it's definitely taken a different turn and direction. Her previous albums have been a lot more rock punk kind of vibes, and this is a bit more soft and intimate and emotional. So it's really exciting to see that. And with Begged, the performance, we kind of saw that it was beautiful. I loved it. She also made a little bit of a comedic jab in her monologue to Jake Paul. She referenced him because they used to work together in a show when they were younger, because she was a child actor, a show called Bizarre. And she kind of said, when me and Jake Paul were working together back in the day, I used to say to him, "Oh, I really want to make songs for people to relate to and all this." And Jake wanted to sell out stadiums, and he did that because now he's on Netflix fighting old people. So that was the little jab she made, but luckily Jake took it well. He said, "That's great. We've both sold out stadiums." So there you go. Take with that what you will. So yeah, that was also quite a standout moment from the night. But yeah, that was SNL. Olivia Rodrigo on SNL. A lot of other skits that she did. There was one about bugs, and like these bugs that are like finding her a love interest. She did a lot of singing. It was bizarre and beautiful. Adam, did you watch it?
I did. I read your article and I watched the Begged video. It was very touching. I think, I mean, I definitely get what you mean about that transition from like teen angst and I guess like teen romance sort of thing. I think there were a lot of lyrics in there that I didn't relate to, but I've seen in like my friends' relationships and that sort of those toxic relationships. Really, that's what she's singing about as compared to before with things like driver's license. But yeah, it was a very good performance. She's a really good live singer as well.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, not that I didn't expect it, but it was a great performance.
A lot of people are commenting on how she's improved her vocals so much, and that was very evident in this performance. Lucia, are you a fan of Olivia Rodrigo?
Yeah, I do like her music. I haven't listened any of the new singles yet. So the one that she performed the other night as well. But I've heard that she was on SNL, and I feel like it's been very useful as well because I think a couple of days ago she announced a few UK dates, if I'm not mistaken, and they were just like people went crazy, and it was really difficult to try and get the tickets. And yeah, obviously she had an English boyfriend, so I feel like she's very close to UK, and it's nice that she managed, to go on SNL as well, since it started now in the UK as well. I feel like it's really cool.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely a way that she can connect to her audience, and I mean, with those UK tour dates, I'm so excited for that. We've got Wolf Alice and The Last Dinner Party acting as openers. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait for June 12th to see where this album goes. I think it's going to be a unique moment in a career and quite a defining one. But we will see, and we will definitely keep updating you guys on that. But on the note of other artists, we're going to be talking about Pussycat Dolls. They had a tour planned, and apparently that didn't go too well. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so, well, in addition to Olivia touring in the UK, the Pussycat Dolls, they will still be touring in Europe. They've got their UK dates, their Europe dates, but they will not be touring America anymore. They have cancelled basically all but one of their US tour dates. So they've put out a statement saying that the PCD Forever Tour, Pussycat Dolls Forever Tour, the US, after taking an honest look, they made the difficult and heartbreaking decision to cancel the dates. And as we've seen, I mean, I've been following this on X for a little bit. I've been seeing the stadium plans, the ticket sale plans, and they booked these massive stadiums, and the ticket prices were really high as well. And so they were just underselling the tickets. So I'm not surprised to hear this, to be honest. And yeah, so they do still have the one US date, which is West Hollywood Pride Out Loud Festival, so on June the 6th. So they've still got that. They said, out of all the dates, that was definitely the one that was the most meaningful to them. They thanked their LGBTQ plus fans for all of their support, and so that's the one that they really wanted to keep. And then obviously they want to make the best of all the European dates, and they're coming out. They're going to be touring September and October in Europe still. But yeah, all of the US dates, we kind of saw it come in, but it still feels bad for such quite an iconic noughties band, really. But
yeah. Definitely. I mean, I think if I'm not, please correct me if I'm not right here, but I think they've been going at it since 2003. That's when I was born. That's wow. So I mean, I don't know much about them, but I can see how, I mean, almost a reunion or a revival of some sorts can be quite iconic. So it's quite disappointing to see this kind of thing happening. Lucia, what do you think? I mean, are you fans of them? Are you looking forward to this tour?
I'm not really a fan, but not because I don't like the music. I just never listen to it much. I do feel that the fault here is to be found within the organization team, because obviously I feel like they are, quite an iconic band, as Alan was saying, but I don't think they've been doing anything for many years now. It's I feel like their popularity sits on their status. And therefore, trying to book such big stadiums might have been a mistake on the organization team part of, because it will be, kind of like expected not for many people to show up and actually be able to fill a stadium. A stadium is like a huge amount of people. It would have to be a really big start, or at least like limited dates. For example, if they only did, let's just say like 3, then it would have been different. But with many dates and such big places, I feel like it's quite difficult to be able to get the results that you want. So in that case, it's not their fault, and I mean, it's kind of awkward, so I feel sorry for them. But at the same time, I'm hoping that they can make the best of the date that they kept and the European dates.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is quite a prevalent topic that's going amongst artists. I mean, we've seen it with Meghan Trainor. I mean, she back in the day was huge. She's now kind of coming into a new sort of revival of her pop and all of that, and people aren't responding that well to it. But she's still got a pretty big following, especially on TikTok, but gets a lot of hate. And I also noticed with her tour. She announced it, and that got cancelled too. The excuse was that she wanted to focus on family and stuff like that, but it was revealed that it was actually just the concert tickets didn't sell out. I think with the prices of concert tickets nowadays, it's difficult to make profit and kind of put on a tour. Adam, like with recent concerts going on, have you noticed a rise in prices?
Yeah, it's so everything, even to just a few years ago, the festivals and concerts, it's just so much more. And I feel like, especially with the Pussycat Dolls, they were very banking on nostalgia, which obviously a lot of artists are, but then, to command those high prices. I remember, so I think it's like 10 years ago, I saw Lana Del Rey, and I think I paid like £50. And when I was looking for it this year, it was like well over £100. If not like more. Like it's so it's just ridiculous. And I don't know where people can go, because obviously music sales and stuff, it really took a dip with the streaming era, and obviously artists don't get paid that much. So were tours sort of the way that they tried to make that money back is something that I've seen people say. But then I feel like with most prices now, there is just that backlash of it's too much, people aren't going to buy it, people don't really like the artists that to see them that much. I usually I go to a festival in the summer, and I'm not going to it this summer just because the price was just too high, and like getting the hotels and everything combined is just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of costs that go into it, and I think as an artist you need to have huge amount of loyalty if fans are willing to pay exorbitant amounts of money to see you. But yeah, I mean, we will see what happens. Hopefully the rest of their tour, the tour that they're doing, goes well. But we also have some news about the Oscars in 2027. Some of the categories have changed, some of the rules, and Lucia has an article about that. And remember, you guys can access everything we're talking about today on newsjustnews.com. But Lucia, why don't you tell us all about that? Some interesting stuff going on.
So the Academy has introduced some new regulations, mainly for the eligibility of movies and performances at the next Academy Awards, which, as we all know, basically the Oscars. The next Oscars are going to take place on the 14th of March, 2027. And we know now that basically there's going to be no AI allowed, and this was something that was kind of like in talks in the last couple of years, and finally they put their foot down and they said, we're not going to be allowing any movie which has any performance played by a non-human actor or non-human entity. And also for screenplays and scripts, like they won't accept anything that it's been written with the usage of AI. The idea is that they're going to try and analyze the products that they receive, whether they are performances or screenplays, to try and find out if there has been the use of AI, although they haven't really explained how they will manage to do that. We know that obviously as time passes, AI gets more and more precise and more human-like, so I feel like it's going to be a bit of a difficult task, but they have decided not to allow this. And this, for example, would be important in relation to some of the performances that have been created in the past few years. For example, we have a case which was quite talked about. Actor Val Kilmer died last year, as we all know, and his family has decided that it would be good for his likeness to be recreated by AI for an upcoming film called As Deep as the Grave. That movie, for example, will not be eligible at all with this new rule, and it is going to be definitely, a choice that has its consequences, whether they be negative or positive, because obviously the family of Val Kilmer or supporters might say that it would still be something that he would have done anyway. But that's not just the only rule. We've got more, for example, for the acting category. Now, an actor or an actress can be nominated for multiple roles into the same category on the same year, which I think it's quite an interesting one. So, for example, let's just say Zendaya this year coming, if they want to nominate her for The Odyssey, for example, or for Dune, she can take up 2 slots into the same Best Supporting Actress category. And I feel this is quite interesting, but at the same time, it feels a little bit unfair because obviously she would have double the chance to win the prize, the award. And then the last one is about international film category. Before, in order for a movie to be nominated into that category, it had to be submitted by a country. Now that rule has been scrapped. So as long as the movie has won an eligible prize into one of the major international film festivals that take place during the year, so for example, Cannes or the Venice Film Festival or Berlin, it's usually the main prize. If it wins the main prize, then they are eligible to be nominated into the best international category without having a country submitting that movie. And this is the direct consequence of a controversy that had been in 2023 when Anatomy of a Fall could not be nominated into that category because it was not submitted by France, even though it won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. So this year, even if a country decides not to endorse a certain movie, if that movie has been successful enough, then it can still be nominated into the Best International Film category. And yeah, I feel like these are quite interesting choices. I think specifically the AI is pretty good, the AI rule, because it's getting more and more difficult to limit the use of AI, especially within the media. And obviously we talk about it every week, so we know about this. But yeah, I feel like the acting one is quite interesting. I don't know what you guys think about it.
Yeah, gosh. Adam, why don't you let us know? I can see you have some thoughts ruminating in your brain.
Yeah, definitely. It's so because there's quite a few rules and they seem quite, I don't know, almost mundane so far because especially AI and the other things, we don't know how it's going to affect it. But I think it really will change things. I think AI, it was probably only a matter of time. I can sort of see why they waited until now because we definitely are. We say it every week. We're at a time where it's very, very difficult to tell AI now. So I think this rule coming in now, I think it's good that they did it before a controversy happened, to be honest. I think they're saving their backs, which is good as well. And I think this is really good for artists and everyone that works on a film, from animators to voice actors to obviously like people behind the scenes and stuff and on the actors themselves. I think this is a really positive step. And I think as well, the international move, I think that's really good. I think anything that promotes more international films is great. Because I think certain films, I know there's that I forgot the name, but the Russian film, like obviously the Russian government is never gonna, put that film forward, especially if it's so critical. So I think films that win prizes in, other countries and other international festivals being eligible as well is a really positive move. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of this is very, very good news, and it's progress towards just fairness in general, besides maybe the actor thing. And especially, Lucia, like you were saying with Zendaya, she has got so much lined up this year. And I can definitely see her being in like three different things in the same category. But we will see what happens with that. As for the AI aspect, I wonder how they'll be able to detect if the script, for example, was written in AI. They'll have to be very careful with that, but time will tell, and we will definitely keep up to date with that and keep you guys up to date with that. But I think that's a great place to end today. Another reminder that everything we're talking about, please go visit newsjustnews.com, and we've got topics on not just entertainment, we've got sport international economy, everything. So there's always something for you to read and something to you to enjoy. So thank you so much to Adam and Lucia for joining me today. Thank you guys. And have a wonderful week and everything. Yeah. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.